Howdy, howdy, everybody out there. Welcome back to my little digital slice of the grand land of Olean. Chapter 21 today, closing the show. Let's jump right into it. In most cases, the final minute or two won't be remembered well by the audience, at least not the specifics. But these moments are intensely critical to your success. It's the feeling you impact your audience now that can make or break you. No matter what happened during your time on stage, even if you had props break, tricks fail, or jokes produce groans instead of laughs, as you close your show, your confidence in your abilities never falters. Never. You are Superman. And Superman remains humble, gracious, and in total control. Dominate the terrain, especially as you prepare to exit. Last man standing. Building to a climax for the close of your show is rarely a straight, clearly marked road. The difficulty of navigating that road can be seen in two consecutive postings to an online forum in which I participate. An emerging mentalist asked questions, yet also, to my mind at least, indirectly answered them himself. In the first posting, he wrote, I want my audience to feel safe enough to allow their fears and inhibitions to disappear and allow their inner child to surface and experience the same sense of play, wonder, and involvement that a child felt at my magic show. Of course, I want them to go home remembering me and telling their friends about me and the show. Of course, I want better bookings at higher fees, but beneath all that, I want them to unlock their inner sense of wonder. In the second posting, he pondered how to effectively close his show with a card memory routine that concludes with two spectators still on stage with him. So at the very end, when you should theoretically be alone to take your applause, you have to deal with thanking and dismissing two helpers. Here is what I wrote in response. By, by wanting to close the show at the moment of the climax of the trick, you are putting all your faith in the power of the trick or routine. But if you truly believe what you said in the first posting, the audience by that time loves you. Therefore, dismiss your two helpers with a round of applause, then bask in the glory the audience will be feeling toward you. With a few choice words, recap the wonder you brought to their lives for a brief moment. If done correctly, all the focus will be back on your smile and your charm, and on you as you thank the audience for their attention and take your well-earned bow. He was stone cold right about one instinct. Unless you work with an assistant, it's imperative that you are the only person on stage at the finale. I thought when I wrote that last sentence for the original version of this book that it didn't need elaboration, but I was wrong. In the intervening years, I've seen a number of top pros suppress the power of their final moments on stage by having one or more people on stage with them. Mentalists are the most likely to make the mistake, since they typically need a spectator on stage to verify that something amazing has happened. A couple of those performers asked for my critiques, and when we changed the ending to ensure they stood alone at the climax, the results were always better. In fact, the changes often led to standing ovations. An ovation is sustained applause. A standing ovation is the royal flush of show business, the summa cum laude acknowledgement from an audience, and every performer craves it. I fail screamers offering advice on this subject, for in theory, you either deserve an ovation, standing or otherwise, or you don't. That said, as with so much else in show business, there are tricks of the trade for the close of your show, and there are things you can do to boost your chances of getting the people on their feet. I've seen some tactics so blatant they make me cringe, even when they are meant to be funny. For example, playing patriotic music with or without a waving flag, or telling a story about my sick young son back home who will ask me when I kiss him in his bed tonight, Daddy, did the nice people stand up at the end of your show? Don't do that, please, even if it's a tongue in cheek. Instead, structure your act so that you have as thrilling a climax as possible. I know that's easy to write, difficult to do, but it's paramount. Assuming you do have a strong climax, don't rush off the stage. Take a bow and stay there for as long as the sound of the applause is peaking. Once you hear the slightest diminishment of sound, make your exit. As you come up from your bow, caution. What you are about to read borders on cheesy when done poorly. Use with discretion. Extend your arms at your side, palms turned toward the ceiling. In other words, it's the motion you would make if you were to actually signal the audience to stand. You don't make the full motion, you just start it. Your hands may have perhaps an inch or two without being observed. If one or two people do stand, look right at them, extend your arms toward them, and say, or at least mouth the words, "Thank you!" Exclamation point. These actions draw the attention of the rest of the audience to their biggest fans, and usually more will join the ovation. During a discussion of the Big O with my friend Ted Kamilovich Jr., one of the most important innovators of practical mental effects since Animan, he mentioned that he sometimes feels embarrassed when people start to stand for an ovation. I recall the same feeling from early in my career. The feeling that somehow it's not sincere or perhaps not even deserved. The truth is, how well your show plays on any given night is not a reliable indicator of how the applause will go at the end. So you may in fact see people rising and applauding after what you felt was a mediocre performance. Fight that "I don't deserve this" feeling! Exclamation point. A standing ovation is more than ego gratification. It's good business. When someone who wasn't at the show asks a friend, "How was he? Any good?" the person who did attend, presumably not a professional critic, and who might otherwise stumble over an accurate summation, has been provided a shorthand answer. "Yeah, he was good. He got a standing ovation!" Exclamation point. Nothing further need to be said. Next up, we got section number 7, postscript. Additional information appended to a manuscript. That's going to be chapter 22, after the show. So thank you, everybody. And remember, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to click that video that's just for you. Yep, just for you. Ta-da!